I want to talk to you today about the marketing and sales rule of three. It's a really simple rule where there are specific intervals that we capture attention. And so, whether it is a capability statement or a 45-second pitch, whatever it may be, there are intervals that people are paying attention. So, the way the rule of three works is you have the first 3 seconds to buy the next 30 seconds of someone's time. Then in that next 30 seconds, you have that time amount to buy the next 3 minutes. And then during that 3 minute period, you use that to buy the next 30 minutes and then the next 3 hours and so on. That's kind of how it goes. And so think of it like this. If I handed a contracting officer my capability statement, they are going to quickly scan it in about 3 to 5 seconds. And in that 3 to 5 seconds, they will determine whether they spend another 30 seconds looking at that capability statement. And in that 30 seconds, they're going to decide if they're going to spend another 3 minutes looking at it. And then during that 3 minutes, they're going to decide whether they want a phone call or capabilities brief, whatever it may be with you, which is about 30 minutes. And so we don't necessarily ask those questions. So like we don't consciously say, hey, I'm going to give it 3 seconds to get 30 minutes and all that kind of, like we don't do that, but we all actually go through that rhythm. So think about it, whether you pick up a newspaper, a magazine, whatever it may be, you're scanning headlines. Something grabs your attention, you're going to read the first paragraph to decide if you read the rest of the story or whatever it may be. The same thing with your capability statement. So they're going to take 3 seconds and start your corporate overview and decide, hey, do I want to read further? Or maybe there's a graphic on your capability statement or a logo on your capability statement that grabs someone's attention, and now they're kind of pulled in and they're going to read a little bit more. And so we have that 3 seconds to get us 30 more seconds, and then the 30 seconds to get us 3 minutes. The same thing with your sales pitch. If you're talking to somebody and you start going down this path like everybody else of, hey, we were founded in 2006 on integrity and excellence and blah, 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 they're tuned out in the first 3 to 5 seconds. They're done. But if you go down the path and you start talking about metrics and value and people you've worked with, and you're kind of sprinkling past performance and that sort of thing, now you're keeping their attention and they're like, hey, let me spend a few minutes, maybe 3 to 5, with this person to kind of learn a little bit more about what they're doing. Then in that 3 to 5 minutes, that's where they may say, you know what? How about we schedule a capabilities brief? And you can ask that if they don't ask it. But during that 3 minutes, you need to do enough to convince them that that's a logical next step. So think about that when you are giving your pitches, when you are, whether it's on the phone, in person, whatever it may be. Think about that when you are creating your capability statement or editing it, or your website or whatever it may be, a brochure. Think about that rule of threes and how it's not just about a headline to grab attention. You have to keep attention. See, that's the thing most people forget. They usually think, hey, let me use a really good headline to grab somebody's attention, but then the rest of their content doesn't keep their attention. So we not only want to grab attention, we want to keep it for as long as we can, and we want to keep buying more of their attention by giving them more useful, valuable data. And so as you do that, you will find that people spend more time with you and they get more out of the conversations that you have. And ultimately, it should lead you down a contracting path or a teaming path. Also, remember that that's not just your contracting officers that are thinking about this. Your teaming partners are thinking it through. They're also going through that rule of threes as you're talking to them to figure out, do I keep talking to this guy or do I just hang up on him? Or do I just politely say, hey, send me your capability statement so I never have to speak to them again? They're going through that same motion as well. So you want to keep buying more of their attention by putting more powerful things in front of them. If you have questions about this, just let me know. You know how to reach me. We'll see you next time.